Right now, welcome everybody. Welcome to this brand new edition of Around the Major League Soccer right here on Africa Sports Network. My name is Sam. You already know what time it is. Week 22 of the MLS regular season is in the books, and a lot of actions took place this week 22. One thing special about this week 22 is the fact that two leaders in the conferences, the West and the East, all lost their games. New England Revolution were taught a bitter lesson at the Yankee Stadium by New York City Football Club, beating them 2-0. In fact, they kept a clean sheet on the Eastern Conference leaders, while Seattle Sounders stumbled at home as Portland Timbers came to Lumen Field and beat them 2-0. In fact, Sounders are yet to beat Timbers at home since 2017. This thing, right? So Seattle Sounders fans are asking the question, what went wrong? When you look at the competition in the Western Conference, you do not have to lose any point at all. But for Houston Dynamo, their winless streak stretched into 15th game as they went down 2-1 at home to Minnesota United. And that loss came with a casualty as the new owner, Ted Sego, yesterday fired the GM. I'm talking about the GM, Matt Jordan. He was fired yesterday. Let me pull up his picture. Yeah, that's the GM of Houston Dynamo, Matt Jordan. He was fired yesterday. In fact, the fans have gotten what they were asking for from the new owner. In fact, on every match day at the BBVA Stadium, you will see a lot of banners displayed by fans with the hashtag Fire Matt Jordan. So yesterday, he was the vice president. In fact, he was the senior vice president and the general manager of Houston Dynamo. So yesterday, he was let go as the team start a new rebuilding phase. But when you look at the statistics that is going with him, yes, during his time, the team won the US Open Cup for the first time. But the team have only had one playoff appearance. That was in 2015. So since then, playoff appearance had eluded Houston Dynamo, and the fans are not happy. But he has gone through 5 managers. That will come in course of this program. And also we have letters from the Major League Soccer, and also I will show you the team of the week as we bring the team of the week courtesy of Audi here on Africa Sports Network. Like I always say, everything look different but nothing changed. I'll take a short break, and when I come back, when I return, the show begins. Alright, welcome back to the program. This is Around the Major League Soccer right here on Africa Sports Network. Yours sincerely, faithfully, my name is Sam Bono on the MICR this hour. Okay, let's kick off this program with the news coming from BBVA Stadium, the sacking of GM Matt Jordan. I mean, it is long overdue. When you look at the track record the GM have had since he took over in 2014, the team have had only one playoff appearance, and the fans are not happy about that. So every game day, you will see that banner with the hashtag Fire Matt Jordan. And yesterday, the new owner, Ted Sego, made that ruthless call with the announcement that Matt Jordan and Dynamo have parted ways. But right now, what is next for Houston Dynamo? I mean, you can fire the manager, you can fire the GM, but the buck stops on the manager table. Even though, yes, Tab Ramos, I was looking at his statistics since he took over. This is his second year as the head coach of Dynamo. They've won only 7 games in 2 seasons. Come on, man. In fact, all 5 managers that Matt Jordan hired, they have one thing in common. They've lost more games than they've won. How can you justify that? I'm just asking. How can you justify the fact that 5 managers, they've lost more games than they won? Wilmar Cabrera, yes, he won the US Open Cup in 2018, but he was fired from his job for poor performance. Davey Arnold, his assistant who took over on a temporary base, won only 3 games and he lost 7 games. And he never got a contract. What about Owen Coyle, the guy that was once a coach of Bolton Wanderers? Yes, he won lesser games and he lost more than he lost more than he won. So this has been a recurring decimal here at the Houston Dynamo. But when you look at this quality in the squad, do you think these players have what it takes to compete with the rest of the league? I mean, Dynamo have a 0.86 point per game. That is the lowest in the Western Conference. Toronto FC have 0.68 point per game. That is the lowest in the entire league. Even Toronto fired their manager Chris Armas, but their fortunes never change. Atlanta fired Gabriel Hines. They lost 2-0 to Nashville in week 22. Their fortune never changed. Who else? Vancouver Whitecaps parted ways with their coach, Dos Santos, but they won over the weekend. I mean, sometimes, it's a little bit dicey when a coach coming mid-season. Yes, things might take a turn for the better, but most often than not, the same thing goes on. Just like, putting a new wine in an old bottle. Of what use would that be? So now Dynamo are winless in 15 games, and the MLS record of the longest winless streak stand at 19 games, and that was set in 1999 by New Jersey and New York Metro Stars. So this Friday, Dynamo have a home date with Portland Timbers at the BBVA Stadium. Will that be the start of a new era? But remember, Portland Timbers went to Seattle Sounders and beat them 2-0 at Lumen Field. But MLS stats says that Seattle Sounders have never beaten Portland at the Lumen Field since 2017. This is 2021. That's 4 years ago. 4 seasons. Seattle are yet to beat Portland at home. Remember, Seattle went to Providence Park in week 20 and trashed Portland 6-2. So it was like a sweet revenge for Portland coming to Lumen Field, grabbed 3 points. Sebastian Blanco and Felipe Mora all scored that goal for Portland Timber. But before them, let's take a highlight of Houston Dynamo game against Minnesota United here at the BBVA. So yes, I want to pull up that visual. Pardon me if my eyes are not on the camera. Let me pull up that visual right here. So let's see how they fared. Yes, this is between Houston Dynamo and yeah, you can see Dynamo making that run. This is Darwin Sirin. Darwin Sirin now getting Tim Parker. Tim Parker playing it wide right, and that should be Maxi Urruti. But when you look at Minnesota United, they defending deep. Now Max Urruti now got that back blow, and this is Max Urruti now with that back pass. This is Carrasquela, aka Coco, and this is Fafa Picot. Papa Picot now sway to Coco, and who got his first MLS goal of the season, and for the first time scoring for Houston Dynamo. You can see how ecstatic he was. Let's hear the audio. right, let's go to these
Game on
more,
here at BBVA Stadium. The
more
Houston Dynamo and
elaborate.
Orange, Minnesota United in the.
Let's go to more elaborate highlight of the game between the Houston Dynamo and Minnesota United. Yes, Dynamo got their opening goal in the 54th seconds. Coco at the battle, Carrasquilla was able to convert when he connected with Fafa Picot. Fafa Picot has been the best player for Houston Dynamo. Let's hear the audio.
It's lasting inside of a minute. I almost got to finish, but not quite. Do it for Tap tonight. Come out with some energy and fight and desire and determination. And that's what we saw there from Coco Carrasquilla, winning the first header, getting it out to Fafa Pico, and the composure from Fafa to pick his head up, don't let the ball get too far away from him, have a look, and Carrasquilla continue with...
Yeah, Coco Carrasquilla was right there at the right time, you know, to tuck in that pass from Fafa Pico. Fafa Pico has been the best player for Dynamo this season. Now look at that equalizer from... Look at that game. Look at that equalizer from Minnesota United. Yes, Michael Nelson made his debut for Dynamo because Marco Merrick, the number one choice goalkeeper, is injured, and he missed that game against Minnesota. This was a game that Dynamo went ahead early in the game, and the fans were thinking that this is going to be the day that Houston will overcome their winless streak. But listen, look at that goal now from Minnesota. Set piece. A cross coming. No one tracked that, end of the ball, and that's it. This has been Dynamo problem all season. In fact, when Colorado Rapids took the lead here early in the game, it was through set piece, corner kick. Lalas Abubakar rose highest to knock in that goal. Now, coming against Minnesota, you know, okay, look at Dusty Griffin, and he headed it. He was ball watching. Dusty Griffin could have done better by tracking down that Minnesota player on that left-hand side of the goal. And also, Adam Lindquist was also ball watching when Hunu took in that goal. So sometimes you ask, what is going on with Houston defenders? You know, sometimes they will be lost. They will not be aware of their surroundings, not knowing that a player, the opponent, is tracking back. And I mean, sometimes when you blame the coach, then you also pass the blame to the players. I understand that the bulk of the whole blame stops on the table of the coach. But when you look at how the coach have prepared the boys for this game, and also, you know, you don't have to remind them to be aware of their surroundings. This is Fafa Pico, the best guy. He was going for the goal, and the crossbar denied him that. Now look at the second goal. All from a throw-in. Dynamo defenders were unaware. The same problem, you know, the same problem. Yes, I know that, you know, the buck stops on the coach and the GM who sign or who recruit players. But look at, a throw-in comes in, they were all watching. That guy was able to put that ball down, control it, and this guy was unmarked. I wonder how you will remind your defenders to mark every opponent. Look at how poor and empty it were. And Minnesota United got their go-ahead goal, and that settled the score 2-1 to Minnesota. So when you look at the table, let's look at the table. Let's see how competitive the Western Conference is. Let's look at the table right quick. You know, let me pull up that table. Let me pull it up. Let's pull it up and see how competitive the Western Conference is. And then you will tell me if Dynamo can, if they stand a little chance of making it to the postseason. I get it. Every fan is yearning for that postseason ticket. But do they have what it takes to make the postseason? Do Houston Dynamo have what it takes to make postseason? All right, let's look at Western Conference. Seattle have 42 points from 22 games, and they've won 12. They've lost only 4 with 6 draws. Their point per game is 1.9. This Western Conference, highly competitive. Then Sporting KC couldn't capitalize on Seattle stumbling at home as they played a 1-1 draw against Colorado Rapids. Colorado are no pushover in the Western Conference. In fact, they have won 4 games on the bounce, starting with beating Dynamo at home here 3-1. So Sporting KC have 40 points from 22 games. They've won 11, they've lost 4, and they've drawn 7. So you can see only 2 points separate the top and the second in Western Conference. Then when you come to third, Colorado Rapids, yes, they've played 38 games. That means they've played 2 games lesser than Sporting KC. That means they played 4 games lesser than Seattle Sounders. But they have 38 points. So let's say they go ahead to play their 4 games outstanding. That's 12 points if they have the gusto to take all the points. So now, 12 plus 38, you have 50 points right there. You have 50 points right there. So they will be top of the Western Conference if they can go ahead and play the same number of games all other teams have played. So, but they are third right now, 38 points from 20 games. They have won 11, they've lost 4, and they've drawn 5. For LA Galaxy, they got a 3-3 away derby draw at the Bank of California Stadium. In fact, if you have been at the Bank of California Stadium, you will see that it is like an arena, like a coliseum. All the players are like gladiators, you know. But let me show you a clip of what the fans of LAFC look like on game days. In fact, I was opportune to sit among them during the MLS All-Star at the Bank of California Stadium. These fans are something else. Look at the fans. Look at their fans right here.
Around the stadium, you will see different kind of fans, the way they dress. When I saw these 4 guys, look like wrestlers. Remember back in the day when I used to watch wrestling? You know, you see the way you dress to stadium every time you come to watch soccer? Whatever. You see the way you dress every time you come to watch a game?
We do. We just come up from work, so that's why we gotta cover our faces.
What you say?
We call up from work, so we gotta cover our faces.
They say they called off from work and they have to cover their faces so their boss won't see them. Come on, man. What a passionate set of fans they have there at the Bank of California Stadium, covering your face so that your manager will not see you, that you came to the stadium to watch soccer. I mean, these are the fans that you want your team to have. When you go to BBVA Stadium, for the fact that the team is not winning games, they're not winning games, the fans doesn't show up. In fact, against Minnesota, it was a half-empty stadium. Yes, a half-empty stadium. And the fans said that they covered their face because they don't want their boss to see them. All right, then back to MLS Western Conference table. You know, back to the Western Conference table. When you look at the standing, all right, now Portland Timbers, who got a 2-0 away win at Lumen Field, are sixth right there in the postseason position, while the last spot is being occupied by Real Salt Lake. 27 points from 21 games, average of 1.29 points per game. So now, how will you justify a team like Houston Dynamo that have 0.86 points per game to usurp all these teams and make postseason? I don't get it. A lot of folks have that hope in their heart, but in reality, it is a fading, faint hope. Prior now, Dynamo had 5 home games. And I told to my listeners that if Dynamo have the gusto or have the effrontery to pick 3 points from these 5 home games, that's 15 points. And it will shoot them up right there in playoff contention. But so far, they've played 3 home games and they've only picked up 1 point. They lost to Colorado Rapids 3-1. They drew 2-2 with FC Dallas. They lost to Minnesota United. That's 8 points gone from a possible 9. So how will you challenge for postseason if you can't pick up home point? In fact, if MLS operates a relegation system, this is a prime candidate for relegation. I love this team. I cover this team. I talk to players in this team. I want to see this team do better. But are they pulling enough weight? How do you think we can turn things around at the BBVA Stadium? So, 19 points, rock bottom in the Western Conference. In fact, this is where they were last season during Tab Ramos' debut season. We thought come next season, which is right now, that things gonna improve. But in all honesty, Dynamo are yet to replace the goal-scoring machine of Mauro Manotas and Albert Ellis. In fact, Mauro Manotas is the all-time scorer in Houston Dynamo. He holds that record. They are yet to replace him. I don't care what the coach says. Oh, we signed Dorsey Griffin. We signed Corey Baird. He can also play 9 and play attacking midfield. No. The team need a central striker. The team need a central striker. Yes, you have a great defender in Teenage Hadebe. But the team need a central striker. Fafa does a yeoman job on game days. He will track back, help the defense, go into the middle, help the midfield, drift left wide, drift right wide. Only him. But he cannot do it alone. He needs great support. He needs great support. Coco is doing very well in that middle. He hold up play, bring other players into it, charge forward, open up spaces. But he is still learning the ropes of the Major League Soccer. And I believe he will come out good. So, regardless of what happened yesterday that Dynamo fired Matt Jordan, will that change their present predicament? Will that change what is currently happening on the field? Lack of productivity. And that is what is making the fans angry. Yes, they've held Matt Jordan accountable. But what about the players improving on the field? Sometimes, man, listen, the coach will do all his job. But if the players are not pulling their weight, all the things that the coach have done equal to 0. Right, let's listen to Michael Nelson, the goalkeeper of Houston Dynamo, who made his MLS debut against Minnesota. He's a local boy, went to school in Katy, Texas, right here. So he came back home to represent his hometown team. This is Michael Nelson.
Michael, you can take the mask off if you
Oh, I didn't know who was looking at me.
It's just me, Zach, on the other end.
Oh, just Zach. All right.
All right. Guys, we're joined now by Dynamo goalkeeper Michael Nelson. Michael, first of all, congratulations on making your MLS debut. I guess before I turned over to the reporters, just kind of give us your overall thoughts on the game this evening and just kind of how you felt making your league debut for the club.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for me. I was very excited going into it. As far as the game goes, obviously we came out with a lot of intensity. I mean, you could see early goal and just the energy that we had. Unfortunately, they tied it up, and then a lot of back and forth throughout the game, and I felt like we had good spells of possession that we maybe could have extended and wore them out a bit more, maybe controlled the pace of play just a bit more. And obviously we're disappointed with the way that ended, given the way that we started. But we have to keep pushing. That's our only option, so we'll keep doing that.
Thanks for that. I'll go ahead and turn it over to the reporters. We'll start with Corey Repkin from the Houston Chronicle. Go ahead, Corey. Michael. On the two goals that you allowed, I mean, as you look back briefly, was there anything you think could have been done on your end to help prevent those?
I'm sorry, on my end or on the team's end?
On your end.
I haven't gotten a chance to really look at the video closely and dissect it. The first one, I thought our setup was good. It's like a longer distance free kick. And someone from our team, I can't remember which player, had gone to win it, and it got flicked to the back post. The player at the back post then knocked it back across the goal, and someone at the back post was there to tap it in. And so for me, it was kind of like a side-to-side play. It was difficult to get a play on. I had to play the first angle in case that guy shot it, and then he played it back across. So it was a very aware play by that guy to put it back across the goal frame. And on the second goal, I think it was like a long throw-in that the player held up, brought in Finley for their team, who then played like a outside of the foot pass that
Right, let's hold it right there. That's Michael Nelson, the goalkeeper of Houston Dynamo, who made his MLS debut on Saturday against Minnesota United. All right, yes, the team, they've played 22 games. They've won only 3 games in 22. What happened to 19 games? What happened to 19 games? They've drawn 10 and they've lost 9. 10. 3 points. 3 times 10 is 30 points. They've lost 30 points. No, they've 3 times 10 is 30. You have 10 draws. That's 10 points from 30. That means they've lost 20 points. They've lost 9 games. 27 points gone. They've won only 13.6% of their games. I mean, how do you explain this? When you look at their conversion rate, what is your conversion rate? 13.0% conversion rate. Do you think such conversion rate will strike fear in the heart of your opponent coming to play you at home or even on the road? Do you think so? Let's keep listening to Michael Nelson.
kind of slipped someone else in, and they tucked it in the far corner. So difficult plays. It's hard to say exactly where things went wrong on those plays. Like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to look back at it closely. But they're things we'll definitely look at.
How would you characterize how the team's feeling right now? I mean, there's been a lot of talk of,
How the team is feeling right now? They're feeling horrible. I mean, how the last time Dynamo won a game was in May 22nd against Vancouver Whitecaps. They won 2-1. This is August, the last day of August. We're about to get into September. So we have June, July, August. 90 days ago was the last time the fans celebrated 3 points. So tell me, if you are a fan of Houston Dynamo, what will you be feeling right now? I get it. And that is why when I cover Major League Soccer, I try to cover it from the lens of the fans. You know why? By Friday, these players will get their alert. They will get their money. They will get their salary or their wages or whatever. Win or lose. They're not going to dog them any money for losing a game. But maybe they might lose money if their contract is incentive based. But the fans, they invest their time, they invest their emotion, they invest everything. And when the team don't win games, the fans will be heartbroken. I'm a fan of soccer. I'm a fan of Liverpool. I know how I feel whenever Liverpool didn't win a game. So I put myself in the shoes of Houston Dynamo fans. How can your team, they are yet to win in 15 games winless streak, on the verge of setting an MLS record of the longest winless streak in the league? You can never be happy. All right, still back to Michael Nelson.
We still believe in what's going on. We're being positive. As this thing goes on, how would you assess how the team's feeling now?
I mean, we all have a lot of hunger and desire to win, and so it's it's always very frustrating to not get results at home in front of our fans, where we feel like we have a strong advantage, especially given the way that we started today. I think it's kind of a sour taste in our mouths to not get points out of that game. So it's of course very frustrating to not get points, but the games come quick, and you can't dwell on it and let one game affect your performance next game. So we're treating each one individually.
All right, let's hold it right there. Not let the outcome of the game affect your performance. I understand that. It's just a game. But there is a saying that goes like this: a team is as good as its last result. When you have only 13% conversion rate and you have conceded more goals than you've scored, what are you talking about? When you come to your defense conceded only 34 goals with only 3 clean sheets. Your defense have won 57.2% of the tackles. Popular Instagram influencer like this. Michael Nelson, over to you.
And of course, we're frustrated with the results when they aren't wins, especially at home. But we're not going to stop working. We're always going to keep pushing, and that's really our only option.
We're not going to stop working. We're going to keep pushing. Yes, keep pushing. Keep pushing until your better becomes the best. Keep pushing until the tie becomes victory. Keep pushing until the losses become ties and not the ties become victory. That is what the fans want. The fans want the team to win games. The fans want to enjoy the beautiful game of soccer. The fans want the team to bring playoff games to Houston. The fans want the team to play in the Champions League in CONCACAF. The fans are yearning for all this. They buy season tickets. They spend their time, their money. But yet, the production on the field is not equaling to what they are spending. Let's keep listening to Michael Nelson.
So, I mean, we're going to stick together and we're going to fight our way through this thing.
Thank you. Thanks, Corey. Next we'll go to Garrett Heiner from HoustonDynamoFC.com. Go ahead, Garrett.
Michael, congratulations. How did it feel to get your first save in league play? Just early on, and then you made a pretty big one later in the game.
Yeah, it was great. I was glad it was one that I was able to hold. I think the little voice inside my head was like, do not let the first shot be a goal. Like, that is not how you want to start this. So it definitely felt good to get a hold, spent a little extra time with the ball on the ground just to be very secure with it. And I think I saw Adam's feet right next to my face giving me an attaboy reaching down. So it felt good to...
I mean, during a lot of pre-match briefing, the coach focused on ball distribution, ball retention, and stuff like that. But when you look at Dynamo ball distribution, I'm talking from the statistics from MLS, 76.8% success rate in their passes. In 22 games, Dynamo have been able to string together 7,901 total passes, and they've been able to succeed in 6,072. So Dynamo have 359.1 passes per 90 minutes. When it comes to long passes, they have 43% success rate. So when you look at these numbers, where do you think the problem is? Against Minnesota, I must tell you, against Minnesota, you know, Dynamo, we are good. Like, for real. Fafa Picault got several chances. He hit the crossbar like twice. But what about the final third? Who will bring the finishing touches to all these passes? That's what they need. That person that will make a difference. Let's still continue with Michael Nelson.
To get the first save out of the way. And just kind of settle everything down. But I had a lot of confidence going into the game. I've been with the team for a little bit now, and the coaches and all my teammates, vocalized their belief in me going into this game, and so I was confident. But of course, it felt nice to get that first save under my belt early.
All right. Right, we'll do that little short break real quick. Let's go back to that interview with Michael Nelson.
Said to you before the game, after the game?
Nothing too specific or too groundbreaking, but Paul and I have a very good relationship. He knows, how to get the best out of me, how to develop me, and so I think with the work that I've been able to put in within the last few years, it's put me in a good position to be ready for moments like this. And with Marco unavailable for this game, it was a good opportunity for me to go in and show what I've got. But yeah, he and the staff told me that they knew I was ready for this, and just come in and do my best and try to help the team get points.
All right, thank you.
Okay, next we'll go to Victor Ariza from Striker, Texas. Go ahead, Victor.
Hey, Michael. You got your first MLS game here. Do you feel it took you maybe a little longer than you expected? Obviously, getting.
All right, that's Michael Nelson, the goalkeeper of Houston Dynamo, who made his MLS debut on Saturday in their 2-1 home defeat to FC Minnesota. All right, let's look at the Eastern Conference table right now. You can see that it's right there on the screen. New England Revolution enjoying that dominance in the Eastern Conference. They are dominating the conference. 49 points from 23 games. In fact, they could have been the first team to hit the 50 points mark this season. But New York City Football Club had a different plan for them at the Yankee Stadium. Valentine Castellanos scored a brace, for New York City Football Club as they downed the swashbuckling Revolution. 49 points, average point per game of 2.13. So high. While Orlando City Football Club managed to play a goalless draw against Inter Miami in that Florida derby, and they are 35 points. So that means that New England Revolution have a healthy lead over second place Orlando City Football Club. Nashville FC, Nashville Soccer Club. I asked this question when the season began, that do you think Nashville is a playoff team? And since then, they have proved me right. Yes, they are a playoff team. Nashville, the only team they've not lost at home this season. They got their first road win of the season, beating Atlanta 2-0 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So Nashville have 35 points from 21 games. They've won 8. They've lost only 2 games, but they have 11 draws. I mean, sometimes if you win more than you draw, it will be a huge difference. But when you draw more than you win, you'll be languishing at the bottom, bottom of the barrel. So Nashville have 35 points from 21 games, having played 2 games lesser than New England Revolution. So the bottom team in the Eastern Conference remained Toronto Football Club. They fired their manager Chris Armas last month, but their fortunes have not changed. 0.68 points per game, the lowest in the entire league. The lowest in the entire league. 22 games played, just 15 points. They've won only 3 games. They've lost 13, and they've drawn 6. Damn it. They've lost 13 games, and they've drawn 6. So when you look at where they are on the Eastern Conference log, they are rock bottom right there in the Eastern Conference. 15 points from 22 games, 0.68 points per game. That's so poor for a team. But it's the Major League Soccer. I take a short break. When I return, we'll talk about the MLS team of the week. Africa Sports Network around the Major League Soccer continue. right, welcome back to the program. This is Around the Major League Soccer, and my name is Sam here on Africa Sports Network, and we are going into Fans Corner. This is a segment which I created for the fans. This is where they have to rant, yell, vent, analyze their team performance. So I'm going to start with this fan. I spoke with him after the final whistle there at BBVA Stadium, and he spoke extensively, about the current state of Houston Dynamo. This is a fan. Come to Africa Sports Network Around the Major League Soccer, and this is Fans Corner, talking to fans as regards the Houston Dynamo result against Minnesota. 15 games now, no win. How are you guys processing the current situation here at BBVA Stadium?
It's a hard situation. It's a lot of the same every week, week in and week out. We have good build-up play, I think. It just all comes down to the final third, getting down there, just missing chances. Today we had multiple chances. We could have gone 2-1 up, Pasher, maybe a little bad touch there, takes it too far and he loses the ball.
Yes, I agree. You could have gone 2-0 up. Yes, they could have, according to the fan.
We had a lot of situations where we could.
Yes, they could have gone 2-0 up against Minnesota. But the final thought, like I always say, the final thought isn't good enough. Fans Corner right here.
Have scored and gone up and maybe gotten back into the game a lot, but we're just not finishing our chances. I think there's a lot of fans going against Tab Ramos right now. Tom, with saying points per game is so low, but I think he's done great. He's brought in the right players. He's done a lot of good, but it's just the players on the pitch. Passion today was pretty good, but apart from today, I think passion's been low, the tempo's been low, but I think we could be a lot better finishing. I think the big problem is finishing.
The result on the field, kind of trickle down. It had a trickle down effect. When you look around the stadium, it's kind of half empty. Do you think what is going on the field is kind of affecting the fan turnout on game day?
I mean, today it was half empty, but to the Dynamos, that's a full stadium. Tonight, the results have been so low. They made it a 7-1-3 night. They made $1 hot dogs and $3 beer to get the stadium full. These aren't.
Hold on. He said they gave hot dog, reduce the price, or make it buy 2 get 1 free, something like that, to get the fans out. The stadium, BBVA Stadium is a 22,000 capacity stadium. Tell me how that place will not be filled to the brim on match days. But due to lack of productivity on the pitch, fans are staying away from the team. Not only searching for a GM, but we need a general manager that will understand the diversity that exists in Houston. This city is home to a lot of immigrants who are from the countries where soccer is their #1 sport. So when you don't include them in what you do, you will not have that diversity on game days. Back to this fan.
Fans that are here every week, week in and week out. You come on a Wednesday night, you get half of what you saw tonight. It's a quarter stadium full. The fans aren't as into it, and you see a lot less every game you come to, unless it's a promotional night. Tonight was a promotional night, so you saw a lot of fans, but if it wasn't for that, I think this place would be even more empty than what it was today.
Where do you think the problem lies? Is it the GM? Is it the players are not doing enough? They're not pulling their weight? Or is it the coaching staff are not sound to bring out the best from the players?
Yeah, it's tough. Tonight, it was another awful situation. Tab Ramos is out. He's in New Jersey, I think.
For family
emergency. So we had our assistant out there kind of taking control. I think we played great. I think we were tied up around the 50th minute. We made those changes. We brought in attackers for attackers. It showed that we wanted to go for the game, but it was just simple mistakes again in front of goal that cost us the game once again. So it's just, I think they're doing a lot of good stuff, managerial, maybe with the whole, Matt Jordan. You see the banners out there.
I saw the banner,
I think that's the third game week we're seeing that. So I think a lot of people are kind of turning against the board, not necessarily tab Ramos. I think he's a great manager. He's brought in a lot of great players. He's building a good squad. It's just the finishing again. I think we could have scored 4 here tonight. They're just not finishing the chances.
So you still have love for Dynamo, right?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Also, you know, there may be a lot of
win or lose. You see,
yeah, exactly.
You see a Dynamo thick and thin.
I mean, we haven't seen us win. I think the last one we had was in May.
Was it May? Yeah.
It was in May. Yeah. I'm still coming to every game. I love the Dynamo. I'm very optimistic. So, you know, you could talk to 20 other people that play the complete opposite. We need to change the manager. We need to change this. We need to change that. But it's just, I'm a very optimistic fan. I love soccer. I love this. It's a great night out. But I just wish I saw better finishing, better integrity from the players, and more passion.
16 games is a record in the MLS.
Yeah.
Without a win.
Yeah.
This is the 15th. Another game day, same story. How are you fans processing the current situation here at Big VA Stadium? 15 games now, no victory. What is going on?
Yeah, man, it's pretty difficult as a fan to deal with it, man. We come to these games and we support the hell out of this team, win or lose, but it's definitely difficult after this, you know, this season. It's been a very, very tough season supporting this team. You know, we expect to win and, you know, we get losses, but we see them out there trying very hard, so, you know, we're going to root for them still, win or lose.
Where do you think the problem lies? Is it the players are not doing enough? Or is it the coaching staff are not sound to lead the team? Or is it that they've not recruited the kind of players that the team needs to be productive? Where is the problem coming from?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, man. Like you said, it's the team and the players. They all got to come together. Coaching definitely needs to do a little bit of better job. You know, they get paid all that money to bring home some wins, and we're not bringing home any wins. They're not doing their job. So, and the players as well. I mean, we saw them out there. You know, they're giving it 100%. They're sweating, blood, sweat, tears out there for us, and you know, it's just not coming together. So definitely better coaching and better scheme,
Better communication too.
yeah.
The MLS record of games without win.
All right, and that are fans who are expressing their thought on Houston Dynamo, you know, calling on the team, the technical crew, and everybody associated with Dynamo to up their weight and do something. They, like you hear the fans say that we support the hell out of this club, but they are not getting the word of their support. All right, let's go to the MLS Team of the Week. You see it, I put it up on the screen right there, but I'm going to, you know, make it more prominent so you can see the MLS Team of the Week. Yes, you can see the guy that got 2 goals against Dynamo is right there. Castellanos and Ricardo Pepi. Ricardo Pepi got a brace against Austin Football Club at the Q2 Stadium, while Castellanos got a brace against New England Revolution. Hunu got a brace against Houston. So these 3 players have 6 goals among them in week 22. So when you come to the midfield, you have a Rodriguez of LAFC was unsung against LA Galaxy. Then you have a Jesus Ferrari of the FC Dallas also got a brace against Austin Football Club. Then you have Zelarayan of Columbus Crew also right there. When you come to defense, you got the Lopez, Sanchez, and then the goalkeeper is Portland Timbers goalkeeper Clark. In fact, Seattle wanted to disfigure him with shot from outside 18. In fact, Seattle outshot Portland 26-10. That shows how they wanted. That shows how they wanted to win that game against Portland. But at the end of the day, what happened? Portland Timbers took all the 3 points. I take another break. When I come back, I will give you some little stuff I saw at the MLS All-Stars. This is Africa Sports Network, and Around the Major League continue. welcome back to the program. This is Around the Major League Soccer with Sam right here on Africa Sports Network, still chopping up with 22 action in the Major League Soccer. So let me take you to the Bank of California Stadium during the MLS All-Star. Let's see how they were able to put together all those stuff you saw, on TV on that day. Yeah, let me play full.
Oh shit!
Yes, this is all those guys there at the Bank of California Stadium trying to put all those stuff together. You can see, they pull the mat right there in the stadium, trying to get, all those beautiful display that the camera will pick up and show you on your screen. Yes, this is the big letters of MLS All-Star. That's the R, right? That's the A. My camera captured it. That's the A right there. And that is, they are waiting for signal. So when they move, that's the S. That's the L. The M is coming. The LL All-Star is coming. So this was how they were able to, put all those things together so the camera can pick it up and show it to you on your TV.
Just look at this guy, man, with his camera phone, got his beer in his hand, having fun. Yeah, okay. All-Star, you can see the big alphabet. All the letters are being wheeled into the main board of Bank of California Stadium as we await the kickoff of the MLS All-Star 2021 Liga MS versus MLS Stars.
All right, that is the MLS All-Star, all the shenanigans that happened, how they were able to wheel in all those big alphabets that spelled MLS All-Star that you saw on your screen on that day live from Bank of California Stadium. All right, time is fast spent. I think right here we draw the curtain on today's edition of Around the Major League Soccer. On Friday, week 23 will be upon us, and Houston Dynamo will be at home against Portland Timbers here at BBVA Stadium as their search for 3 points continue. Until then, my name is Sam. Thank you for watching. Remain blessed.